Hello.
Hello.
Welcome. You're listening to Your College in the Morning, brought to you through the facilities of Trent Radio on 92.7 CFFFM. I'm Zach.
And I'm Kelsey.
And we are coming at you from Peterborough, Ontario.
Mm-hmm.
So, today, we are going to be talking about storms. Because I don't know why I was thinking about them, and I thought it would be an interesting thing to talk about because, especially in Peterborough, because we are still, you still sometimes see, like, remnants of the storm. Like, not as much anymore, but, like, a month ago, stumps, I think they just pulled a tree out, like, of Jackson Creek, like, across the street from my house. So, yeah. Anyways, we want to talk about storms. Specifically, I think I'll probably talk about that little storm in the summer that Kelsey abandoned before. But I don't know, Kelsey, any big storms where you were from?
We've had a few. Like the ones I can think of were sort of like tornado warnings. Growing up, I was absolutely terrified of tornadoes.
Really?
And anytime there was a thunderstorm. Now I love thunderstorms. Like they're so calming and. Well, it just makes me want to be inside.
I wouldn't say that much, but yeah.
No, like
sure.
They can be like I don't know, just like the rain and like the ambiance, you know.
No, for sure.
But growing up, whenever there'd be a thunderstorm, I would like hide in my basement and try and like I was so scared.
Oh my god!
I'd be like, get the life jackets, everyone.
Oh my god.
But I think it's because I remember this one my like first tornado warning that I experienced. I was pretty little. I was probably like 5 or 6, and we were at my brother's baseball game, and the game got like canceled like halfway through, and then we were all running to our cars because the wind was picking up and it was like all crazy, and my mom went to like put me in my seat or something. I don't know. I just remember that she was in the backseat of the car, and she like fully like fell backwards because of the wind, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh my god,
and
that's
then
scary. For a kid,
yeah.
Like, that's actually scary.
And then we started driving home, and there was a huge tree, like on the road, like where we normally go. And I was like, I thought the world was ending.
Oh my god. Not similar, but kind of similar story from when I was like little. In Ottawa, there was this huge thunderstorm. I don't know. It was in the summer. And my parents were at this thing called Blues Fest, which if you're from Ottawa, you know what that is. If you're not, you probably don't. But basically a pretty big music festival in Ottawa. And I was at overnight camp. Oh. Sleeping in a tent.
Oh no.
And I, whatever, none the wiser. But it was like, I remember being in the tent and being like, it's pouring rain. Like, that's so funny. Like, whatever. And like other like camps that were on the same, like, we were all the same camp, but other like groups or whatever, I don't know, were like bringing people into their cabins, but like my group didn't have a cabin to go into. It was just strange. Anyways, it was so windy, the Blues Fest stage fell over. Oh my god. Yeah, and my parents were like so pissed, and they like called and called, and like they were like, yeah, every person, like every kid went inside, but nope, not me.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And I don't even think it wasn't even a tornado. It was just like super high wind.
Have you, when you were in school, did you ever get a tornado warning?
No.
And like had to? There was one time I was in grade 7 or 8, and there was a tornado warning, and I don't think we got out of school until like 6 p.m. that night.
Holy
it was a lockdown for the tornado. And I can't remember if it was this one or it might have been a different time, but we did have around like 2012 or like around then, I want to say, we had a tornado come through like Midland, Barrie, Aurelia area, and my aunt and uncle, one of my aunt and uncles, live in this like trailer park home, or like they were like staying there, and they had a friend over, and then the like storm started to pick up, so they like decided to drive their friend home.
Yeah.
And they have a dog.
Yeah.
Whose name is also Kelsey. Just fun fact. What? And so they had this dog, and they like last minute decided to bring like the dog like for a car ride, which like they don't normally do, I guess. and they get back, and the whole, like, the tornado went through the entire trailer park, and, like, theirs was collapsed, and so, like, if they had stayed, it would not have been good, but it's just crazy when things like that happen.
Yeah. Oh, that's horrible. That's terrifying.
But yeah, those are, like, I feel like my two big storms, other than the summer, which I wasn't here
So this is the main event. I'll start with this. We were at, if you ever heard of Silver Bean. I was at Silver Bean with, like, a couple of my friends, which is an outdoor restaurant. Like, you sit outside. There's no inside dining. And we were sitting
by
outside.
the water.
By the water. We were sitting outside. And the sky was actually, like, black. Like, it was so obviously gonna be, like, a horrible storm. But, you know, like, I don't know, like, bad storms are bad storms, but a little water never hurt nobody, you know what I mean? But then it started to get, like, windy, and me and my friend, we, like, moved tables to get, like, underneath this shelter thing, but then the wind was picking up, so then it was, like, blowing all of our stuff over, and then it started pouring, and, like, to the point, like, yeah, I'll sit in the rain. I'm not really, like, I don't mind the rain, but it was, like, my sandwich, the top of my sandwich blew away and off and over.
No, I think I remember you sent me pictures, and it looked like everyone had just, like, gone out of the water.
Yeah.
Like, that you were swimming.
Well, because, crazy. So we got inside, and they have these, like, garage door things. So we got in, and under that, and there was, like, actually probably, like, 30 people in this like small room, all, like, shoulder to shoulder, and then all the workers were in there, and then the wind was so bad that like, everyone left their stuff because it just started pouring rain, and there's, like, glasses and all this stuff on the table, and they're, like, smashing. You can hear it. It's like like smashing, and all these tables are flipping, and chairs are going everywhere. There's a huge field, and chairs are flying, like, across the field and whatever.
No.
But this is all we can see. Anyways, so then me and my friends are like, do you want help? They're like, yeah. So we, like, took the tables with them, flipped them upside down, stacked all the chairs, like, behind, like, so the building was, like, blocking the wind. Yeah. And then we literally looked like we had gone swimming, and then we were just, like, standing inside, and we were just soaking wet. Yeah, it was brutal. And then my friend called his mom to come get us because she was passing through back from his cottage, and she was like, oh, I'll pick you up and drive you back home. Perfect, great, thank you so much. So this was actually crazy. The storm stops, the rain stops, and it's also, like, cold. Like, it was like so unbelievably hot, and now it's freezing. And
when was this? July?
No. It was, like, the end of May.
Really?
Yeah,
it was that
early.
Oh my goodness! It feels like
I think it was a May long weekend because you went home.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. Time flies.
Yeah, seriously. Anyways, the rain stopped, and, like, we were standing in front, almost near the road or whatever, of this building waiting for my friend's mom, and the sirens was, like, actually, I think, one of the craziest things I've ever heard in my entire life. Like, it was, like, from every direction sirens, and I was like, the world is ending. Like, oh my gosh. Holy crap.
And also probably trees on the road everywhere.
So then I start to see, like, people are, like, running around and, like, looking at these, like, trees that are down, and I was like, oh my god, because there's trees down, but also, like, you see trees down in storms. There's one or two. Also, like, for some reason, these, like, huge trees, thank god, they didn't go down, but they're, like, all surrounding the cafe, and none of them went down, so it didn't look like it was a tree down storm, which I guess, like, obviously it was, but, like, at the time I was like, whatever, there's 2 trees down, and there's someone, I don't even know what I thought, like, emergency stuff was for. Like, well,
that's the other thing. A lot of people were saying that there wasn't as much, like, notice of, like, take cover, basically.
Well, because it was insane, because it was like storm coming at 5, storm coming at 2, storm coming right now, and it was like thunderstorm, severe weather, get inside, like, it was like crazy. Also, like, the whole storm lasted 10 minutes, not even, and then it was like a beautiful sunny day. It was insane.
Which is crazy. I remember, because I was driving home during it, but I didn't get, like, I remember there was one point where a bunch of people were pulling over, and I was like, maybe I should also pull over.
No.
But I did, because I did go home for that weekend, and I was releasing a bunch of turtles. And my car was packed with a bunch of turtles, and I was like, there's a storm, and I got turtles in the car.
Get these turtles home.
And, but yeah, I don't remember it lasting very long.
No,
it was very quick.
All. It was super quick. And then, anyways, we get in the car, and we were driving to our friend's house, and it was just, roads were closed. Roads were flooded. You couldn't go down McDonald. You couldn't go down, like, all these streets, because they're huge trees out into the road.
And even if it's just, like, the branch of some of these trees, like, they're big, old trees.
Yeah, no, exactly. So then I don't know why, I think she made a wrong turn, so we had to go up McDonald, and then go turn around and go back down London, and then go. And we went up, turn around, we were driving down London, and I don't know, she didn't realize, I guess, but, like, we get, like, stuck, almost, on a wire.
Oh, like, right.
The antenna of the car, like, pulled it.
Oh, my God.
And she was like, I'm just going to keep driving. And we were like, okay. And we just, like, kept driving, and, like, it didn't break or anything, but, like...
Oh, my God.
And I don't even know if it was a wire or telephone or whatever, but, like, it was... like, terrifying. Anyways, we pull up to my friend's house, and there's a tree on their house, and we were like, and I was like, let's go to my house, because I figured, like, there's no trees around my house, so I figured that'd probably be fine. Anyways, and then we run to go in, because it's still, like, kind of raining, or it had started raining again, or something like that. We run to go get it, and we literally are about to, like, walk into the house, and these guys, her neighbors, my friend's neighbors, are looking over us from their balcony. Whoa, stop, that's a wire, like, that's a live wire, don't touch it, like, and we were like, oh my God, her car is under a tree. So we were like, oh my gosh, like, can't go in, and I was like, she was like, I'm just gonna, and I was like, don't touch it, like, don't go under it, go, like, let's leave. And she was like, oh my God, like, what am I gonna do? I was like, it's fine. So then we got in the car and came back to my house. No power.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But then you do eventually get power.
Yeah, I got power pretty quick. It was, but, like, for the first, it was still, like, I don't know, I feel like, because people lost power for days. Maybe, like, 24 hours is still a long time. But 24 hours is still a long time.
It is a very long time.
It was brutal because, like, because no one had power in the whole city. Like, I think the only place that had power was Bridge North.
Oh.
There was no data. Like, there was no service. So you couldn't do, like, anything. And you couldn't charge your phone. And I remember the next, we were all hungry. And we had no food. And I didn't want to open the fridge because I didn't want to, like, let cold air out just in case. So we walked to Shamong, Metro or Loblaws or whatever that is. Closed. They won't let you in. No power. And then we walked. We walked there, and we were, like, just, like, looking around at all these, like, trees that were down everywhere. It was crazy. We got water at A&W because that's the only thing they had, and then we walked all the way to the Lansdowne,
Oh my gosh.
Superstore and got like sandwich stuff and then walked back to my house. And I was wearing slides.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And we were all, yeah, it was brutal.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was insane. And then the next day, still no power, we decided we're going to bus to the mall and sit in the mall because it's one of the only places in the city that has power. And sit in the mall for 4 hours to charge all our stuff and like look at all our stuff and try to figure stuff out and contact people. Yeah.
That is very crazy.
And then we came back and I had power. And it was brutal. But
yeah, I don't remember how exactly long it took for my house to get power.
Most of it was like 5 days.
Yeah. I think I was pretty near the end. But I remember coming back because I stayed home for a few days because I was like, I'm not coming back if I know I don't have power. And just coming into like Peterborough and going like down Chemung and like all the like traffic lights were out and it was just all these like 4-way stops and it was like, what is going on? And also at night, I bet it was very,
oh my gosh,
like weird and
yeah. Well, one night for the second night or something, we went to our friend's house who lives by the hospital, who had also got power after a day. And like he like played guitar and we just like hung out or whatever and it was fun, but like walking there in the pitch black was so cool but like crazy. Also
like
because
really something that like you do just see in movies. I
think. Well, and it was just like so like insane and it was crazy too because I live next to a Mr. Convenience and they had no power for 5 days and the people 2 doors down from me had no power for 5 days and all the neighborhoods behind me had no power for 5 days. Like I was so lucky. All right, well after that incredible story, let's just take a second. Welcome anyone who's just joined us to the show. Welcome to your college in the morning. I'm Zach.
And I'm Kelsey.
You're listening to 92.7 CFFF FM radio. Today we are just talking about storms.
Yep.
And the Peterborough storm specifically. What it was like to be here, to live in the borough.
Yeah.
When it happened.
The borough.
Brutal is the answer. Any other storms, Kelsey?
I'm trying to think. I don't know, but I remember kind of like I know in elementary school you learn about like all the like earthquakes and tsunamis and like whatever, and I remember just like not obsessing, but I was like so interested in all of them, and I watched like that one movie has Naomi Watts and Tom Holland like on Netflix and it is like I don't know about one tsunami or something. But yeah, and I just remember like I would go on YouTube all the time and look at like these videos of like natural disasters and like
strange.
It is strange, but I was like for some reason so like fascinated by them because they would freak me out, like they would genuinely like scare me.
No, me too. Last year, shout out Jim Buttle, but his class, who he's now retired, but this is his class. Apocalypse Now. That is like a class. Hard, definitely. It was tough, but like it's really, really, really interesting if you're into natural disasters and stuff like that. It's very cool because not to nerd out for a second, but it's very interesting the way we think of natural disasters as being disasters, as being like these things that are inherently bad. You know, when they're just like not. They're the exact same as a flower blooming, or
they're just natural.
Yeah, exactly. But we mess it up by building developments like near the edge of the ocean, which that seems not like a good idea, or whatever, So, anyways, we increase our risk. But here in Ontario, I feel like most places are pretty not at risk. All we have really is tornadoes, and we don't even really have tornadoes because we don't have the the big open fields. But I feel like we've had a lot more lately.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when growing up, there was like 2 tornadoes in my life, and
I think I've like every summer or like I feel like I've had
maybe. Does the Ottawa Valley get less right now?
Maybe.
Like,
yeah.
I wonder if that's actually
because I feel like where I'm from in the middle of nowhere, there's like lots of like
tornadoes,
like open space
That's
and
true.
like farmland but I guess in I don't know.
Ottawa there is too.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I don't know what I feel like. There's only been like a couple.
Another
thing, like we don't really get crazy things, but we get tornadoes and ice storms.
Ice storms. Have you also ever seen like they're really cool, like just like a lightning storm?
Yeah.
Like I remember this is in Florida actually, like when I was on the beach and it just would like light up the entire sky.
Yeah.
And it was like very cool. But
there was one of those here.
Oh yes, I remember.
A couple months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we were all. Someone was like.
Everyone was like, look outside. Yeah.
And we like stood on our friend's porch and like looked up at the sky. It was insane. It was crazy. I've never it was super close. Like it was like lightning every 30 seconds. It was cool though.
Yeah. But ice storms.
Ice storms. There was one in like 2017 or something in Ottawa, and like it was crazy, and there's like tree branches everywhere because they just like freeze and snap off, and there's like little pieces. It was insane. There was ice everywhere. Like the road looked like it was a gravel road, but it was literally ice. It was insane. There's no power. I think I got power after like 24 hours, but it was like freezing rain, and then like like it was crazy. It was cool though.
Did you ever?
Beautiful.
Do you remember your like record of like most snow days in a row?
Oh my god, no, not in a row. I think like 2.
Really?
Yeah.
I had one in elementary school. There was one week where like Monday to Friday was a snow day all week, so we had just no school.
Oh my god.
For an entire week.
I remember in high school, we had like no school, and then we had like a strike day or something like that. And then so we had like almost a whole week of no school, or like there was like a month where like there was no school like every single Friday or something like that. It was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
But I love snow days. Here's a question. Were you the kind of kid who would go into school on a snow day, or would you stay home?
What do you think?
I think you're a stay home.
Really?
Yeah.
No. I was a go to school. I also just lived so close to my school, like to my elementary school, and my mom's also a teacher, so she's like, you're going. And then also when you're, like I think when you're little too, and there's a snow day, like
it's just fun.
Yeah, and it's like you get to play and watch movies and yeah.
The worst thing is about snow days when you're in high school is when like the teacher's like, you have to be here. Like, I am gonna teach. There's a test tomorrow, and if it's a snow day, I'm doing it anyway. It's like, make it here. But like, I don't know. I was a public transit boy, like whatever. And I also lived from Ottawa. You know what I'm talking about. If you don't, and that's fine. But I lived in Quebec. Like I lived in Hull for 2 years during high school, and the buses there are tough, and you have to. There was one bus near my house, but I had to bus to a station, get off, take a bus over the bridge, get off, take the LRT to a bus station, get off, take a bus to school, which isn't like that.
How long would that take?
An hour and a half.
Oh.
Which isn't like I always had to take at least 2 buses to school, at least, at minimum. And if I wanted to get there fast, you want to take 3, 4 buses even. But like, yeah, I think my fastest way to school was 3 buses. The point is, I was waiting for a bus, and again, from Ottawa, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, you don't. But the traffic when it's snowy to get over the bridge into Ottawa is brutal, because there's this one bus station right in front of the bridge, and buses. There's like a little hill, that's a turn. So it's like a right turn or whatever, but it's up a hill. They get stuck.
That's terrifying.
They move one, the next one gets stuck.
Oh,
it's
no.
insane. Like, they always get stuck. It's brutal. It's brutal. And then we had like a huge bus loop at my school. And in the winter, on a snow day, the buses would get stuck.
Oh my goodness.
In the loop. And that's my whole thing with snow days, is that it's not, they're calling it a snow day because the buses aren't running because it's dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
And you expect most, especially high school, now that we're in university, it's, I guess, different, but still most people take public transit. Like, a lot of people do. But the school buses aren't running. That's like the definition of a snow day or whatever. Mm-hmm. Then the city buses shouldn't be running. Yeah. Where you're literally standing on the bus. Mm-hmm. Like, oh my gosh. This one, I don't know, it was an ice storm or something when I was in grade 12. And me and my friend got on the city bus to go downtown to go see a friend. I don't remember exactly what we were doing, but we wanted to go out. We should have stayed home. And the bus was like skidding out on every single turn. The bus would skid out, and like he had no control. Like the back wheels would literally. It was, and we were sitting in the back, and I was like, "Oh,
that's terrifying."
We're gonna die here. Yeah. Also in Ottawa, there's this thing called the Transitway, which is like a huge. It's like a highway-ish road, but only buses go on it. Mm-hmm. So that like the only buses are allowed on it, and they go like 120, 130, 140, 150, like so unbelievably fast, which is great when I'm trying to get to school, but crap when it's literally like the ground is a skating rink, and this bus like has no grip on, like it was brutal. It was actually terrifying.
That's so scary.
Yeah. Also in Ottawa, like downtown where a lot of the buses go, like the roads are so skinny. So put snow on them. Puh, you're not you're not going.
Yeah, I know, it's so weird because I feel like or like northern countries at least, and like in Canada, we're all like, oh, there's like an abnormally amount of snow, but we're just like, oh, it's just like another winter day. But then you'll hear of like it'll snow in Texas, and it'll be like 1 or 2 centimeters or something, and everything is shut down, which like for them is like whatever. But it's just funny how I feel like weird, like everyone here is just so like, oh, it's not a big deal. We'll just put a little salt on there, and it'll be fine.
I was like, I remember hearing about the Texas thing and being like, puff. Like, what a bunch of wimps. Like, it's a centimeter of snow, it's -3 degrees, blah, 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 blah. However,
they're just not, adapted to that.
They're not adapted. Their houses
are
built for that. People died. Like, old people died because they don't have insulation in their houses the way we do. They don't have heating in their houses the way we do. Like, it's not the same place at all. And you don't realize that. We're acclimatized, like our bodies and our minds and our whole lives are like acclimatized, but like all of our infrastructure is also like prepared for that, and theirs isn't. So anyways, it's interesting.
Also similar to like the heat waves, like out west, like the houses are just not, like it was trapping so much heat, like so many people died just from like the heat wave. Most devastating natural disaster is
really drought and heat. Man. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, horrible. We are posting these. These come out every Thursday, where it will be on the radio, and they'll be posted. The previous week's episode will be posted
the next week.
So, if you want to catch up on us, see what we've been up to. We got, I think this is episode 6.
Which is crazy.
Which is so crazy. We've done a lot of cool things. What's your favorite episode so far?
I loved when we had Oliver on the show.
Who didn't love that episode? Anyways, thanks for listening to Your College in the Morning. Zach.
And I'm Kelsey.
We'll see you next time.